All right, guys, we are coming to the end of this course. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. And guess what? We're going to talk about how to end your fast at the end of this course. See how I did that there? But I want to talk about how to end your fast, because if I'm being honest, for a lot of years, I did not end my fast well. You're hungry, you're tired, you're ready to eat something, and you can rush through it, and you can just kind of make some mistakes that I think can kind of hurt your spiritual results, but definitely do some damage on your body. Just kind of tell you a quick story. The first real fast that I ever did was a Daniel's fast when I was a senior in high school. And this is kind of, if you know my testimony, when I really surrendered my life to God, and I was like, hey, I'm following after God now. And I did a 21-day Daniel fast with my church. And this Daniel fast, it wasn't even really that strict of a Daniel's fast. For those of you that know, my late grandmother, Mimi, she made some recipes that I'm like, I'm not sure, Mimi, if this is actually fast. You know, this is pretty good. This is a little too good to be on the Daniel's fast. But anyways, I did this 21-day fast. I was starving. And so me and my best friend, the night that we ended the fast, we decided that it was going to be a great idea to get all of our favorite food and eat it all at once. So we got a pizza, we got Whataburger, which is kind of a local, a southern burger place. We had ice cream, and we had a king cake. Those of you from Louisiana, maybe you've ever been to Louisiana, a king cake, it's something that you do around Mardi Gras time, and we were going after it. So we ate just so much food. On a normal day, this would have been too much food, but especially after a 21-day Daniel fast. And afterwards, we were sick. It was awful. I'm not gonna go into the details, but the next couple of days were just awful. Our bodies felt terrible. And so do not end your fast with a greasy cheeseburger or a pizza or something like that. There's a couple things that I want to give you that are going to help you end your fast a little bit better. So before we kind of dive into those little practical things of actually what to eat and stuff, I want to just encourage you to not rush the end of your fast. I know after you go through, however many days you're fasting, again, let's just use a 21-day fast as an example. You're ready to get back to kind of your normal eating, and maybe you're thinking, man, can't wait to eat my favorite food, whatever. But I've found that it can kind of make the last couple of days of the fast a little, almost like discount them, and it's almost like you're not getting as much from those days of fasting. And usually those days are the days when you're going to have the most breakthrough. Not saying it's an exact formula, but just in my life, it's usually those last days that you're really starting to feel breakthrough. You're really starting to get some clarity from God. And so don't, with 3 days left, just start being like, okay, 3 days left, 2 days left, 1 day left. I can't wait to get through this. You can start making plans and stuff, but don't rush it. Enjoy those last few days and enjoy those last few hours. And then when you are getting ready to break your fast, however you're going to do that, and we're going to talk about practicalities in just a moment, I always like to take some time, even if you've already prayed that day, even if you've already done your Bible reading, but take some time and just kind of put a bow on the fast, I guess you would say. I like to take some time, even if it's just 5-10 minutes, and just, thank the Lord for what He's spoken through that fast. Thank Him for sustaining me. And also just kind of sear in my brain, hey, God has sustained me this far. So if God sustained me this far, I need to remember this, that I actually don't need that food. I need God more than I need that food. I may really want it right now. I may really want to break the fast, but I just like to thank God for everything that He did on the fast, and really just take a moment to soak that in and not just rush the next thing, because it's a big accomplishment. No matter what you're fasting, no matter what you're doing, it's a big milestone. And so I always like to take a little time, even if you're sitting down in a meal, depending on how you're doing it, but maybe you're with your family, maybe you're with some loved ones, maybe you even want to break it with some people in your church, invite some people over. And I would just encourage you guys, maybe share what God has spoken on that fast, or what God did on the fast, before you dive into the food. Because again, like, you didn't just do this for food reasons. You did this to receive something from the Lord. And so I want you to commemorate that. I want you to think about that a little bit before you begin to break that fast. So if you're going to break a fast, though, let's dive into just a few things that I want to give as an example And as an example, you can kind of taper this for the type of fast that you're doing, but I'm going to use a 21-day normal fast, what I call the normal fast, which is no food, water only. I've done a couple of these in my life. I did 40 days with water and just a little bit of juice, but I did 21 days water only. And so let's talk about 21-day normal fast. So the first and second meal, really the first day, I would encourage you just to do a very light soup or a low-calorie smoothie with fruits and vegetables. Not a lot of protein powder and peanut butter and all that type of stuff to make it high calorie. Just something that's very low calorie, something that's gonna be light on your stomach, because God has sustained you during this time, but over the course of 21 days especially, your digestive system is gonna start to slow down a lot because it's trying to conserve calories. That's just a scientific fact. So it's not gonna be digesting as fast. So you don't wanna put something heavy on the stomach that's going to make that digestive system have to work really hard. You want to put something light. So really just some light soups, some low calorie smoothie made with fruit, just maybe some juices, some all natural juices, not something with a lot of added sugar and things like that, but just something to kind of get that digestive system going. And then I would say, maybe the second day or your third meal, if you're feeling up to it, introduce some vegetables, some grains like rice or whole wheat bread. But again, you're keeping this very light. You're not wanting to stuff yourself, because I know in the moment you're like, I'm so hungry, but if you really fill up, it's gonna make your stomach not feel good. You're gonna have some repercussions. I'll just leave it at that. And so you want to leave that being something really light. And then on the second day, maybe lunch on the second day, or depending, maybe for some even on the third day, depending on how your body's responding. I would wait until maybe lunch or dinner on that second day, then slowly start to reintroduce proteins and meats and things like that if you're eating meat. But you want to give your body time to kind of wake up and adjust, because meat and protein is going to be the most difficult thing for your body to process and digest. It just takes longer to break down. So you kind of want to wake up your body and ease into it. And the way that I like to think about it is just how we kind of tapered off of things coming into the fast. You can kind of taper back onto things. So even things like coffee and sugar and stuff like that, I would really encourage you, don't just go all out. If you haven't drank coffee in 21 days, don't chug 24 ounces of coffee the next morning, because all of that caffeine and stuff is going to hit your system and it's just really going to throw you off. And I've found a lot of people, get a bad taste in their mouth from fasting, not so much from the fast, but kind of what happens after the fast, because they're like, man, I felt horrible after I felt good while I was on it, but when I came off of it, I felt horrible and I had all these stomach aches and all these different things. And that's not really from the fasting, it's what you put in your body to end the fast. So take a couple days, it's okay. The food's gonna be there, your favorite burger place or pizza place or that steak or whatever you're looking forward to, it's gonna be there. But give your body a couple days, at least a couple meals to kind of adjust. And even if you're doing a Daniel fast or a shorter fast, all of this still applies. If you're doing a Daniel's fast, you maybe want to do kind of some meats and things a little bit, but again, don't go super heavy that first meal. Just slowly reintroduce some things, reintroduce some different dairy products and stuff like that. And one of the side effects, I know I said this isn't the point of fasting, but you may find that there's some things that you just want to leave out of your diet. I know me and my wife have done this over the years where we just find that, hey, that's actually something I don't want to reintroduce, because when I reintroduced it, it made me feel bad. And so I'm actually just going to leave that out of my diet. So that's a great benefit of fasting. I know that's not the reason we're doing it, but that's one of the benefits of fasting. So as you end a fast, don't go all out that first or second day, really even third day. Give yourself 2 or 3 days to adjust, for your body to acclimate, and then maybe look and consider, hey, are there things that I just want to keep out of my diet permanently? And then maybe even after a couple of days, ask yourself, the next time I fast, do I want to do the same kind of fast, or do I want to do something that's a little bit more intense? Do I want to remove more things from my diet? So as you're ending that fast, again, don't rush through it. Don't miss the blessings from that fast. Don't just rush to that next meal. Take some time to commemorate it, to remember what God has done, and then allow your body time to adjust to all those foods that you love so much. And I know if you do that, if you follow those instructions, you're not going to have stomach aches and headaches and all that type of stuff, and you're not going to end your fast feeling bad. You're going to end it on a high. You're going to end it rejoicing and end it praising God for all that He's done.